Okay, everyone, it's time to learn about lines and how they meet. This is a definition. You need to record it on your flipped homework sheet. A line is a straight set of points that extend forever in either direction. If you need to pause it to write that down, go ahead and do so. The arrows tell us this object continues on. So just like the definition said, it continues on forever. It extends forever. We're going to be learning about 3 different types of lines. First one's intersecting lines. We're also going to learn about perpendicular lines. And we're going to learn about parallel lines. But what does this all mean? Okay, intersecting lines. This is a definition as well. You need to make sure you record it. Intersecting lines are lines that cross at an angle other than 90 degrees. Okay, here's an example of intersecting lines. Notice how this angle right here is an obtuse angle. This angle right here is an obtuse angle. Here's an acute angle and another acute angle. There are no 90-degree angles here. Perpendicular lines are lines that meet at a 90-degree angle. These lines form 4 right angles. Where the other one had acute angles and obtuse angles, these lines don't. As you can see here, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and this is a right angle. It forms 4 right angles. Okay, parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that stay the same distance apart over their entire length. These lines will never meet. They're never going to meet. They're never going to cross. Here's the example of parallel lines. Notice that here, this is the same distance as here. And this is the same distance as here. They never get farther apart from each other or closer to each other. Okay, let's find some examples of some of the lines we talked about. Let's look first for some intersecting lines. I'm noticing this yellow line right here and this dark blue line right here. These are intersecting lines, and the reason these are intersecting lines is because they meet at an angle that is not 90 degrees. Right here we have an obtuse angle, an obtuse angle, an acute angle, and an acute angle. Okay, so that was intersecting lines. Let's see if we can find some perpendicular lines. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at this green line right here and this dark yellow line right here. These lines meet at 90-degree angles. They meet at right angles. Here is a right angle, here's a right angle, here's a right angle, and here's a right angle. It forms 4 right angles. Okay, so we did some intersecting lines and we did some perpendicular lines. The only other one we haven't seen yet in this picture is parallel lines. Let's look at this pink line right here and this light blue line right here. Notice that they are the same distance apart anywhere on the lines. They're the same distance apart here as they are here, and the same distance here as they are here, and the same distance here as they are here. They're never going to get any closer together or any farther apart. They're never going to touch each other. There are some more examples in this picture. I want you to see if you can find one more example for each. So go ahead and look for another intersecting line. Remember, intersecting lines meet at angles other than 90 degrees. See if you can find one. I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, good job. I hope you found some. Now let's see if you can find some perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines meet at 90-degree angles, so they have 4 right angles. It forms 4 right angles. I'll give you a couple seconds to see if you can find some perpendicular lines. Great job. I hope you were able to find some perpendicular lines. The last one we're going to look for is parallel lines. See if you can find a different example of parallel lines in this picture. Parallel lines are going to extend and they're never going to touch each other. They're never going to get closer to each other. They're never going to meet. I'll give you a couple seconds to find some parallel lines. Great job. I hope you're getting the hang of it. Now let's look at this video real quick, and when we're done with this video, I want you to make sure you go on to Edmodo, take the short quiz, and make sure you bring in your homework sheet. I'm going to be looking at them tomorrow.
Carrie, I heard the funniest joke this weekend.
Really? What is it about?
It is about what we are learning in math class this week.
Cool. Tell me.
Okay. Did you know parallel lines have a lot in common?
No, I didn't.
It's too bad they'll never meet. Get it? Because parallel lines never meet?
That is a good one. I'm going to tell it to my friends in Miss Bramble's class.